everyone, and welcome to Walking Through the Bible. Those who do not learn from history are condemned to repeat it. This saying sadly is often true, for Solomon will say that there is nothing new under the sun. Mankind is a forgetful people, and all too often a younger generation will rise up and think that everything that the older generation has done should be discarded and rarely talked about. The problem is, while older generations can make mistakes, just like younger generations can, those mistakes can be learned from. And so if we never talk about them, we will repeat those same mistakes. But successes can be learned from too. When it comes to Israel, why did they go into idolatry so much? Because a generation grew up who did not learn about all of God's doings in the past, saw what the nations round about them were doing, and so copied that. Psalm 105 is meant to show Israel the eternal faithfulness of God. So let's learn how the psalmist does that now. So if you have a Bible with you, you can turn to the book of Psalms to Psalms 105. We're going to be reading from verses 1 to 15. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So, Psalm 105, beginning at verse 1. O give thanks to the Lord, call upon his name, make known his deeds among the people. Sing to him, sing psalms to him, talk of all his wondrous works, glory in his holy name. Let the hearts of those rejoice who seek the Lord. Seek the Lord and his strength, seek his face evermore. Remember his marvelous works which he has done, his wonders and judgments of his mouth, O seed of Abraham, his servant, you children of Jacob, his chosen ones. He is the Lord our God. His judgments are in all the earth. He remembers his covenant forever. The word which he commanded for 1,000 generations, the covenant which he made with Abraham, and his oath to Isaac, and confirmed it to Jacob for a statute, to Israel as an everlasting covenant, saying, To you I will give the land of Canaan as the allotment of your inheritance. When they were few in number, indeed very few, and strangers in it. When they went from one nation to another, from one kingdom to another people, he permitted no one to do them wrong. Yes, he rebuked kings for their sake, saying, Do not touch my anointed ones, and do my prophets no harm. There's no superscript to this psalm, so we don't know the author of the entire psalm. However, the first third of this psalm, what we read today, we do know was written by David, as we've studied it before in 1 Chronicles 16, verses 8 to 22. What appears to have happened then is that the author of Psalm 105 expanded on the psalm written by David for the occasion of 1 Chronicles 16, which was the Ark of the Covenant coming to Jerusalem, thus giving us a full picture of God's faithfulness for Israel. And so because of this, we know that this psalm must have been written after David, but beyond that, we do not know, because the psalm only takes us over Israel's history up to them possessing the promised land. As we begin our look at Psalm 105, we would be remiss if we don't examine again why David wrote what he did, and then why the psalmist here took what David wrote and made broader application. When David wrote what he wrote, for over a century, the Ark of the Covenant had been largely hidden away from the worship of the people inside a private dwelling. In a sense, to Israel, the presence of the Lord had been hidden from them, meaning the rituals that occurred on the Day of Atonement, where the high priest approached the mercy seat with the blood of bulls and goats to seek atonement for sins, could not really be realized. Why was it this way? Because Israel sinned in bringing the Ark of the Covenant out into battle against the Philistines, a battle which they lost, and a battle which resulted in the destruction of Shiloh, the place where the tabernacle was. In the century that followed, they were in constant war with the Philistines, had a mighty prophet in Samuel, but a weak king in Saul. It's very easy for Israel to feel that God had abandoned them, yet he hadn't. He hadn't forgotten the covenant he made with Abraham, the oath he made to Isaac, or the confirmation of this covenant that he made to Jacob. He had protected Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob throughout their sojourns from peoples and kings that were far stronger than them, all so that he could be faithful to his covenant. And now at that moment, in David's day, his presence, represented by the Ark of the Covenant, was residing in Jerusalem. It would be there that God would place his name and have his temple built. And later, it would be there the Messiah would come to take away the sins of the world by dying on the cross. In light of all of these marvelous works that God had done, all of the wonders that he accomplished, and all of the judgments that God executed for the nation of Israel, God's chosen people of old, how should Israel react? They should give thanks to him. They should call upon his name and make his deeds known to others so that they can call upon his name too. They should sing psalms to him day and night. They should glory just in the mention of his holy name. They should rejoice as they seek the Lord. And in seeking the Lord, they should not only seek his name, but his strength and his face forevermore. And they should never forget what he had done for them, for when that happens is when they will stray away from him. That is why the psalmist could take what David wrote and make a broader application. Even after God placed his name in Jerusalem, even though Israel went off into idolatry and was punished, even then God didn't abandon them because he never forgot his promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You see, the promise made to these patriarchs wasn't simply about land. It was about a Messiah through whom all the nations of the world would be blessed. God was faithful to the entire covenant, and he would fulfill it. That is what the rest of Psalm 105 is going to show us, so we invite you back as we continue our study of it. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Psalm 105, verses 16 to 36, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. We thank you for watching Walking Through the Bible today. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. But if you like this video, we ask that you consider subscribing to our channel so you won't miss out on other videos in our series, as well as share this video among your friends so that the saving message of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.